there, I'm Trent, and today I'm going to cover a pretty important development of arpeggio understanding, and basically this is going into in-position chord progressions. So I'm going to do a basic chord progression, a 1, 4, 5, in one key of B flat, and what I'm going to demonstrate is the 3 different inversions of a 2-octave arpeggio, how to play the 1, 4, and 5 in each position. And so what you're going to be doing is using the root position, the second inversion, and the first inversion, which if you know about triads, those are the 3 different inversions. You can be using those in each of the positions. So basically, the idea here being that you have a triad shape here, and then you also have the same exact triad an octave up here. So if I put them together in arpeggio fashion, I've got, basically I'm just looking at these 2 triad shapes and playing them in sequence. 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 5. So what I got, I'm starting at the 6th string at B flat, which is the 6th fret, and I'm arranging my fingers. I like to use my 3rd finger on that root note, and I've got the 1, 3, 5 here. So I've got the 6th fret of the 6th string, 5th fret 5th string, 3rd fret 4th string, and that's a B flat major triad arpeggio. You'll notice I'm hybrid picking, maybe if you're looking at this hand. I hybrid pick mostly all of the arpeggios I play. You can do the same thing without hybrid picking if that's not really natural for you. I came from playing with a thumb pick for a really long time, so I did all my arpeggios just with my fingers, you know, which works really nice for arpeggios. I switched recently back to using a pick and hybrid picking because I discovered I could do a lot of the same things and actually a little bit more with going back to the standard pick. But anyway, if you're doing this with just a pick, you can go, you know, you can just down, sweep pick it, go down, down, down. And what I would do if I was picking every note with a pick, I would go down, 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 and then when I go up to the next octave, I would probably go up on that first note. So down, down, down. Then when I go up to this 8th fret, I would probably go up, use an up pick, then down, 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 up, 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 on the way back down. And I wouldn't re-pick on the way back down. I wouldn't re-pick this note that slides down. So the full arpeggio shape in the root position I'm doing here. So I reach that 3rd of the chord up here, and I go back down. And then just to create a full rhythmic phrase, I'm adding in that 3rd at the end. So the pattern sounds like this. Nice symmetrical pattern. So that is a root position B flat major arpeggio. You can move that anywhere on the guitar, just like with any shape on the guitar. I could just practice that one, just moving up in any kind of increment, such as moving in half steps. If that's new to you, that might be a great way to practice it. You'll want to get each of these 3 inversions under your fingers so that you can play this full exercise adequately and understand what you're doing. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take the same exact idea. I'm going to apply it to the different inversions of B flat, just so you can see that, and then I'm going to apply it to the 1, 4, 5 in each of these positions. So the 1 chord, 4 chord, and 5 chord of the key of B flat. Here I've got my root position. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide up to the 3rd, because a first inversion triad is just the same notes, the major triad starting from the 3rd. So the same thing I did here where I have these 2 triad shapes, I'm going to do the same thing from the 3rd. So now I've got a first inversion triad, 3, 5, 1. My B flat's on top. If I move that to the next octave, it looks like that. So my arpeggio is going to be Same exact rhythmic pattern. So okay. Root position. First inversion. Notice how I'm switching between the two shapes. I'm barring my first finger here, then I'm sliding into the third here, and doing the same in reverse on the way back down. So now up to the fifth. If I go from the third to the fifth, the 3 to the 5 of a major triad is going to be a minor third. Also, 3 half steps is the same thing. So now if I start with the fifth of the chord, I've got a second inversion arpeggio of this B flat major. And this one is a little bit of a harder shape. You may be familiar, but basically, same exact concept. Here we have these two root position triads, moving in 2 different octaves. Here, with first inversion, we have the same thing. And here, this is the shape of an open E chord, the finger shape, just on the next string set down. And up here, it's like the shape of an A chord. It's the same note arrangement. We have 5, 1, and then 3, 5, 1, 3, and then 5 on top. If I go all the way up, so those are the 3 inversions. I would advise practicing those first with a metronome if they're new to you. If you're brave and you just want to jump right into the 1, 4, and 5, here we go. So when you're looking at a position like this one, you have your root position B flat major triad right there, triad arpeggio. Now we're going to go to the 4 chord. So we need to figure out which inversion is going to get us the 4 chord arpeggio in this position. B flat is related to E flat, in that B flat is the 5th of an E flat chord, because if you take an E flat chord, you have E flat, G, B flat. That's a 1, 3, and 5. And so B flat is the 5th. So if you think about what inversion starts on the 5th, it's the second inversion. So if I start with my B flat root position, and I want to go to the E flat or the 4 chord in this exact position, I'm going to be using my second inversion arpeggio. Because I'm trying to stay in the same position here, creating what I think is a more useful idea, a more useful concept for playing over chord changes rather than thinking about changing positions completely. Going like to root position up here, I mean, it can sound cool, but knowing how to switch between these positions, between these chords in the same position is super helpful. Also for when you're dealing with just chord voicings. Like if you know that you can play a triad here, and then you can play the 4 chord right there and a 5 chord right here, you don't have to jump around the neck a whole bunch. You can start to see how these connect with each other. So root position, B flat, to the 4 chord, E flat, second inversion. Now, the 5 chord is F. So if I look at this B flat note, F, the 1 is obviously F, the 3 is A, the 5 is C. So here's B flat. Thinking through that, the closest note to me is going to be A. And that's going to be the 3rd of the F chord, so this is going to be a first inversion, meaning a F chord with the A or the 3rd note as the lowest note. So we're going to do the first inversion, triad arpeggio, and that's our F version in this exact position. Then back to root position B flat. So the full exercise in this position is going to go root position B flat, to second inversion E flat, to first inversion F, to root position B flat. And that concludes the exercise in that position. So next we're going to do the exact same thing, but starting instead of from root position, we're going to start from first inversion B flat. So we can start here going, and this is just going to flip-flop the inversion that we're doing on each of these chords. So the one chord is B flat, we do first inversion. Now my lowest note here is D. That's a third of B flat. And my 4 chord, which we're going to go to next, is E flat. So this D is only a half step down from E flat, same exact position. So I can go to my root position 4 chord, or E flat. Now, if I play my 5 chord, the closest note to my position here that is in the 5 chord is the C, the 5th of F. So that's going to be a second inversion arpeggio from C. Then I'm back to my first inversion of B flat. So the full pattern there looks like this. B flat in first inversion, E flat root position, F in second inversion, back to B flat in first inversion. Then I move up to the next position, and this would put me into second inversion for B flat. So I can just play my second inversion arpeggio starting at F, which is the 5 of B flat, because we have B flat, D, F. 1, 3, 5. Now I'm going to go to my 4 chord, E flat, and the closest note, I could either go down to this E flat, which isn't really in the same position. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the 3rd of E flat to make first inversion E flat arpeggio here at G. G is the 3rd of E flat, and we play our first inversion. Then F is the 5 chord of B flat. We're going to the 5 next, and F is right here, so we play root position. Then to wrap it up, back to the second inversion of B flat. Now, since it's a triad, there's only 3 notes. There's only 3 different notes that can be the lowest note. We've exhausted the different possibilities, because if we go up to the next position, we're back to root position. I don't really want to play all those notes up there that high, because I think I'm going to run out of notes if I go for that E flat. Oh. If I had more frets, that would be an E flat. Sort of is. But anyway, so you get the idea, maybe. I hope you followed along with this. So the practice workout for today is just going through those different positions I showed you. I'm going to show you one more time, and I'm going to try to go slow, and hopefully you can follow along here. So, beginning with root position B flat, we're going to go through our arpeggio pattern. We're going to the 4 chord, which is E flat, second inversion. We're going to go to the 5 chord, F, which would be first inversion. Back to the B flat in root position. Then I'm going to go to B flat in first inversion. To E flat, the 4 chord in root position. To F, the 5 chord in second inversion. Back to B flat, the 1 in root position, or excuse me, first inversion. Then to B flat, second inversion. To E flat, the 4 chord in first inversion. To F, the 5 chord in root position. Back to B flat in second inversion. And that's the full exercise.